Hi guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm riding this. This is the Ducati Streetfighter V4S, which is basically the naked version of the Panigale V4. And here you can see the aggressive looking lights. This is actually the DRL dual projector setup as well. In fact, I can turn it on and off. I can dim it actually. It says Ducati here. This is very much functional for air to flow. Says Ducati here as well. Now this is finished in matte black, which is basically the dark stealth color. It gets upside down forks, 43mm, golden colored ones, and obviously electronically adjustable as well. This is the radiator for the liquid cooling. This is the radiator for the oil cooling. There's a reflector here. Amazing brakes from Brembo, of course. Says Öhlins right here. In fact, it gets dual disc at the front, 330mm. The tire size, well, at the front you get 120mm. Yeah, 120 is the size of the tire, the width if you want to see. 7017 number plate has been placed here, so speed cameras cannot catch you at all. Says full LED here. It gets winglets. Yeah, that is to keep the bike glued. I'll talk more about that when riding this motorcycle. But it can put a lot of weight at the front for better high-speed stability. Says Streetfighter V4S right here, and you can see the engine, which is a work of art. This is a V4 engine, of course, and you know what, it really needs to cool because it heats up a lot. That is the exhaust. Peg positioning is obviously rear set, but the problem is now the riding position is such that it's a bit on the sportier side. Pillion is not welcome, even though his pegs are really high set, because the pillion seat is very chintu mintu, and where will he hold on to? Here or to the rider, of course. Now it needs a tail tidy for sure, indicator functioning at the moment, reflector. And the brake light is very much like that of the Ducati Diavel. Ducati logo right here. In fact, you can see that canister. Well, that is for the electronic suspension. Again, from Öhlins, it obviously gets a monoshock. You can see how things have been packed in tightly. Single-sided swing arm, beautiful looking alloy wheel. And the tire size at the rear is obviously bigger because 260/17. All that power has to go through this wheel, of course. So obviously, they've given it massive tires, both at the front and the rear, but the rear tire is like humongous. Like, look at the size of this tire. But the problem with the brakes is they tend to leak oil, so something which is not very well sorted. But then it's an Italian motorcycle, so you expect all this and more. That is where the key goes to open this seat if you want to keep small chintu mintu documents if you so wish. But this bike looks absolutely stunning. What a beautiful looking machine. Ground clearance is very chintu mintu, I think 120mm or so. So you have to be really careful over bad roads. Now coming to the other side, again you can see some interesting bits here. In fact, it says Desmos DC Stradale, basically the way the engine has valves and all that. But we're not going to get into that at the moment, because what I want to show you is this beautiful canister for the electronic suspension. Is just amazing the way it has been done. Obviously, you do not get a main stand, don't even expect that. Streetfighter has been written in places you can't just find at all. Is this bike made in Thailand? Probably yes. Says Ducati here. These vents are very much functional because the bike heats a lot. So all the heat comes to the fuel tank. Oh my god, it's really very hot. But these vents try to push in air to cool the fuel tank. You get a steering damper, and this thing is very much adjustable. So it says V4 factory position, and you can move the position manually. So the amount of angle and the amount the steering, or rather the handlebar moves, that can be altered as well. Beautiful looking master cylinder, and this is actually for the hydraulic clutch, the fluid. Now, not many buttons here. This is for the handlebar heating, heated hand grips for winter riding. This is to turn on the bike, and it says DPL right here, which is for Ducati power launch control button. Says Ducati here on the hand grips. Adjustable levers. Mirrors are not very useful, I think, but we'll figure that out when we're riding, of course. And again, adjustable clutch as well, but the clutch is very heavy. Like, yeah, it needs a lot of effort to actually use the clutch. This is a 5-inch screen, which is chintu mintu, but gives you a lot of information. So there's a tachometer, there's the speedometer, and it tells you the temperature here, clock there, and then you can browse through multiple things. So it tells you a lot of things there as well, which I'll talk when we are riding this motorcycle. In fact, this is the button to browse through the right side. This is the button to browse through the left side. So here, twin trip meters, what's the fuel efficiency like? It's saying 12.7 kilometers per liter right now. What is the air temperature like? And then you can actually get into the settings menu and make a lot of changes. Look at that. How many things do you want in your motorcycle to configure? Apparently a lot. And then if you want, you can actually go ahead and alter a lot. It has a lap timer as well. You can alter things in the ride mode, so you can decide which ride mode you want. But better still, you just get out of this. I'll show you why. Because if you long press this button like this, there it shows you what are the various settings for the various modes. There are 3 ride modes actually. So I'll again tell you more about this when you are riding this motorcycle. Now, this is for the indicator switch. This is for the hazard lights. This is for going from low beam to high beam. This button is obviously to switch between the DRL and the headlight control during the day. And this is the horn. Oh my god, that is a loud horn. Let's do one thing. Let's turn on the motorcycle. It's going to explode. It's that loud. And here we go. Oh my god, this is loud. It's a very loud motorcycle. Where's the hazard light switch? This is the one. I keep getting lost somehow. Listen to this, okay? Listen to this, guys. Oh my lord, this is absolutely crazy loud, but there is no fuel meter here. So crazy cost cutting. Anyways, let's start riding right away. Alright, let's start riding. This is the key. Now for model year 2023, they have made some changes to the key because you just have to have the key in the pocket and then it's keyless. There it shows the Ducati logo, flashes some light, and let's turn on the bike. It has the loudest idle I've heard on any motorcycle in my life. It's that loud. Oh my god, the peg position is really very rear set, so that's a little uncomfortable for me. Oh my god, my knee is already paining, and this is a street fighter motorcycle which seems so uncomfortable. So I'm just going to change the riding mode. I'm going to keep this pressed and we are going to come into street mode. Yeah, because in street it actually reduces the power output to 155, which is much more usable. Taking a U-turn is a pain. Yeah, it has a super bike type turning radius because this is actually a super bike only, but a naked one at that. I'm not feeling comfortable on this bike. The riding posture is very aggressive somehow, because obviously it is sporty, very sporty indeed. I'm gonna have an issue with my hips already because I feel very uncomfortable. Imagine what will happen on the Panigale V4. But anyways, bike sounds very smooth somehow once you get going. At idle it's very rough and it's very loud, and the peg positioning, you have to get used to it. The clutch also is heavy, you have to get used to it. Bike feels super fast even in street. I'm forgetting words. In street mode also the bike feels very fast. Brakes are stupendous somehow here, but it's quite usable in street mode. In fact, this bike heats a lot, especially in traffic. Even when there's no one around, it still heats up. In fact, it heats so much that Ducati has programmed something known as cylinder deactivation in this bike, which cuts the rear two cylinders at idle to reduce the heating, but it still heats a lot. So you have to contend with that. Even though there's no fairing, the heat doesn't dissipate as nicely, so you have to get used to the heating as well. There's a lot of grip on offer. Front end feel is just amazing. It really goes into a corner with a lot of ease and precision. Some vibrations you can feel or see that the instrument cluster is vibrating as well. Handlebar is quite wide and it has got forged wheels and whatnot. This is of course the S. So with the S now you get electronic suspension. You also get this electronic damper here, this one. You get this dark stealth color, which is the matte black, and you also get forged wheels. Along with that you also get a lithium ion battery, so a lot of changes on that front. Bumps can be felt, but somehow it's quite good in the way it is able to absorb most of the road or the bumps without any hesitation. Only thing is you have to be very careful over potholes because you will damage the rims, and ground clearance isn't ample. So now it's the time we have been waiting for, which is shifting the ride mode. So here I keep this pressed and then we are going to come into race. So DTC means Ducati traction control. ABS is obviously anti-lock brakes. DWC stands for Ducati wheelie control. DSC is for Ducati slide control. EBC is engine brake control. It has got so many settings. This is not a bike, this is actually an electronic computer with two wheels. Computer is electronic only, Faisal, what are you talking? So let's just select this. I have to release the brake, then only the mode selects. Yeah, it has selected race mode. Now we are going to actually launch the bike with a DPL, which is Ducati power launch, which means I press this button, DPL level we will select on 3 right now, and it says available launch is 3. Pull the clutch, engage first gear, open full throttle, and off we go. Oh my god! It's
insane, man. The front was trying to lift all the time. There's just too much power for the road. Honestly, this is an overkill, the kind of performance. Launch control works fantastically well, but 0 to 100 kilometers per hour comes up in how big your balls are, seconds I mean, because depending on how much guts you have, the faster you can launch from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. But if you are a seasoned rider who has all the balls in the world, you can go from 0 to 100 km. Oh my god, acceleration is maddening. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in around 2.8 seconds, which is brutally quick. It will hit a top speed of 285 kilometers per hour, but there is a lot of wind blast here, like crazy amount of wind blast. The bike rides like a dream. It accelerates like mad. The pull, the thrust, the engine, the sound, everything is just bonkers, phenomenal. What an engine, what a pull, what a thrust. 208 horsepower it gives you in sport and race mode. I felt that. I felt 208 horses flinging me forward, and that's the reason you have to hold on to the handlebar, wondering what will happen next. This bike has the power of around 25 Splendors. That is the kind of performance it has. Unbelievable. But then when you ride at lower speeds now, it kind of feels very unrefined. In fact, it will not wheelie so easily because Ducati has actually reduced the torque in the first 4 gears, and obviously depending on what setting the wheelie control is, that's how the bike will move ahead. I need to stop and breathe. Hazard lights on. What a phenomenal bike. Even on bad roads now, you can feel the stiffness, but it's not very harsh or bad because obviously ride quality is amazing because it can auto adjust because of the electronic dampers. The damping can be adjusted. So we again get into Ducati power launch. This time we are going to go for level 2 of the launch. Here I selected there. Hazard lights off. It says pull the clutch, engage first gear and go mad. That's what we are going to do. First gear 135. Oh my god, the front end is absolutely bonkers mad. I can't ride this bike, I'm sorry. This bike has way more capabilities than I have to ride it, and it is way better handling than what you can experience on the road. The low fuel warning has come because the mileage is somewhere between 8 to 10 kilometers per liter. Single digit mileage numbers from this bike depending on how you ride. You can stretch it to around 15-16 kilometers per liter, but it is obviously a drinker of sorts. Yeah, it drinks and it drinks a lot. There's a 16-liter fuel tank, which is decent. Ride is not great, handling is amazing, but I would say ride is good enough here. Oh man, I can't deal with the heat. I'm just going to turn off the motorcycle. Let's get some air. Let's turn it on. Till 8,000 things are fine. Okay, notice this. 8,000 and things are fine. Then beyond 8,000, absolutely mad machine. This bike can make a person mad because past 8,000 it flings you forward like a javelin throw, and you don't know what to do. You just like hold on to your ride like save me. 14,500 RPM red line, 208 horsepower, okay, which comes at a very high 12,750 RPM. Torque output 123 Newton meters, again at a very high 9,500 RPM. It's got a quick shifter, bi-directional of course. It's got everything you would ever think, imagine and need in a motorcycle, but everything is an overkill because you don't have the balls to put all that power on. It's just so fast, but still it's usable because of the slew of electronics it has. So this is actually the V4S, the regular V4 that costs 3.85 lakhs less, but it's better to pay 29.6 to get this very machine here. So it's time to launch. It gives me 3 launches, so this is kind of the final launch. Brakes are stupendous, man. What brakes! Here we are going to get with level 1 launching right away. Hazard light off, into first gear, driving the motor, and off we go. Holy moly! Unbelievable, man, unbelievable. What an engine. I just can't contain, deal with this wind blast. It's too much, and also the riding posture is not for me. Seat height is good at 845 mm, but my goodness, my hips pain like crazy because of the super rear set pegs. Oh, and my thighs are getting roasted as well. It's a very fast motorcycle, but a motorcycle which will roast you. It's too fast, no doubt, but it's also very uncomfortable somehow. I expected it to be better in this regard, but no, this bike just doesn't feel good for riding on the streets. Just No baby, no. Oh, no launches available. DPL has also given up right now. Just shut the bike, man. Cool down. Yeah, I'll do that. I'm hoping that DPL will get reset. I'm just being optimistic. No, it hasn't got reset at all. So we exit and off we go. And off we go. Oh my god, I am done. I can't deal with the level of speed and wind blast this has to offer. But what a fantastic bike. Amazing handling, amazing brakes, amazing hardware, amazing performance. Everything is just phenomenal. If you got 30 lakh rupees and balls of steel, just get this one. I'm riding at 40 kilometers per hour in 6th gear. Some vibes, but as soon as you reach 50-60, it smoothens out. Full throttle. Look at this bike pull from 6th gear from 40 kilometers per hour. If I don't leave the throttle, it will go all the way to 290 kilometers per hour. So 40 to 290 kilometers per hour in one freaking gear. That is the kind of performance it has to offer. Absolutely bonkers, mad. And you know what? It really needs 100 octane fuel to run. Yeah, 100 octane fuel is what it needs, which costs rupees 170 per liter. But if I want to ride it slowly, like here, I slow down, I drive it like I ride it at like 60 kilometers per hour, no problem at all. It feels quite at ease here as well. So you don't have to really ring the throttle every time. You can actually ride at lower speeds. This is a bike which can help you cruise. Only thing is you want to cruise at higher speeds, for which you need a visor, of course, because the wind blast is just way too much. Otherwise, just drop a few gears. Here we are into, I can drop into first itself. Can you believe it? I can actually drop into first and then disappear. But I'm just going to come into third, show you how smooth the bike gets as you get going at speed, because it becomes very rough when you're at idle. Here I'm going to downshift to first, and listen to this. I can feel the front lift all the time. And on that discovery, it's time to end. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this vlog, make sure to give the thumbs up, that's a like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video soon. Bye bye.